Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I actually have an assembly video or tutorial on how to put together the latest kit that I'm launching in my shop. So this is a digital printable, and I have already cut out all of the pieces so that you can see me assemble them. I'm going to put this together, talk about how to assemble it, and then I'll do a separate video on the decorations part of it. These are all the pieces that come with it, along with a sheet of fussy cuts or stickers that you can make into your digital stickers. So this one has cards, and I've kept the back of these blank so that they can double as journal cards, but these are art cards as well, and you'll see how I put those in. And then this is the closure, and this one comes with 4 bookmarks that go in it, and a bunch of tags that also there's a spot in there for those. 3 separate pockets in this one. Oh, 4 separate pockets in this one. 2 of which are flat pockets, and I'll show you what I mean as I go along. This is the cover, and you can see the middle spine. I've scored everything already, so it's ready for assembly. So this is the front cover, back cover. And I printed, the backing paper comes with it, and I printed the backing paper on the back of all of this. I use the paper canvas for this because I love how it feels when I'm done with it, and that's a Red River Paper company, a kind of cardstock that they make. It is about, it's 230 grams, so it's about 100-pound cardstock. And the softness of it is hard to see on camera, but it has a real texture to it. I don't think you can see it in here, but it makes it really soft on the outside. All right, so when you are ready to assemble, you're going to get your glue out, and I'm going to hope that I have a pin here to stick in it. I do. I don't know about you, but I have to stick a pin in my glue every day just to wake it up in the morning. All right, so I'm going to show you the first assembly I'm going to do is this. This is the pocket for the bookmarks. And the way that I do this is I fold in that bottom one and the side one, and then I'm going to fold it together, and I'm going to glue along these flaps so that those are going to be glued down to the paper. That's going to make the whole pocket. Okay, so now I've closed the pocket. Give it a little bit of encouragement. All right, and then you have this last flap right here. And what I'm going to do with that is I want this to go right on the inside of my cover so that it can flap out like this. Okay, so I take the paper, the side that's not color, flap color, and I'm just going to glue it right here on the edge. Get that right up to the edge there. And then I want that to be right there. There you go. I gave it a little bit of room on the bottom, as you can see, so not too much room, because when you put a bookmark in it, you're going to want that to be able to close and also have that on the inside. So I guess you do have a little bit more space up at the top. Okay. So that is your bookmark holder. All right. Now the second piece I'm going to assemble is the card holder, and that's for all of these cards right here. And it's a very similar process. We're going to fold in these flaps and then glue them together like this. And then this flap I'm going to do like this. So I have folded it in the middle such that I have a little bit of extra room there to do that. But it's up to you how you decide to put that all together. But so that assembly is going to go Oh, I got a little glue on the inside. Does anybody else ever do this? I'm just going fast, which is why I did it. All right. So I'm going to hold those two down and close up that pocket. All right. All right. Good. And then I want this assembly like this, as long as it will stay flapped over. Okay, good. So that's going to fold over something else that's going to go there in a second. We're going to glue that down. And you want to get it up close to the edge, but not quite at the edge of where your fold is. So I can see my fold right there, right? And I want this to be close, but not on top of it. And you get a minute or two with the glue. I just want it to be able to easily close and open. All right. All right, good. Okay, so that goes like this. Flippity floppity. All right. Now, this small pocket is for ephemera. And where I want this to go is right under here. It's just going to tuck in right here. And I did, there we go. Yeah, perfect like that. So I'm going to put that down now. And the reason I did this after the other one is because I wanted to make sure that it was on top of this. And then there's some fussy cuts and ephemera, as I mentioned, and those will eventually go in there. I just didn't print them today yet. All right, so that one goes right there. Your little pocket, and that has like, you can put little decorations or whatever you want in there. And then the final pocket is for tags. And it is going to go on the outside of this one right here. And then my favorite part of the whole thing comes next. So put this in. All right, now I saved some of my backing paper that I used that was not used, you know, as I cut things out. There was some backing paper left over. And so I have a little stack of it here somewhere. Where did it go? There's one of them. Here's another. Where'd the rest of it go? Here we go. 3. I just have a lot of the little stacks there. All right. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to take a card, one of these cards, and I'm going to put it up here to display it. So I'm going to make a display space for my cards. And the way I want to do that is I'm going to make little holders for them. So I'm going to put that where I kind of want it. And then I'm going to think about the placement of these. Yep. And I am going to cut them down a little as I go. So just hang on for a second. And this will go inside this little pocket here. And I want to be able to put in cards and take them out. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make them like little slots for that to go into. And so I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to put a little glue here and a little glue here. And then I'm going to put that all up here. And don't worry about, just make sure the glue doesn't get on the card. But don't worry about if it goes over, because in a second I'm going to trim these down. So I want this to be able to go in and out there. And let's see. I did get that in. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to look here. There's that one. So basically, instead of making like, you don't have to use this method. You could also, if you have like photo corners or something else that you want to use there, you can use that one. Those, or you could make circles and glue those down. Okay. So I'm going to do something a little different this time because I wasn't real pleased with how that last method turned out. So I'm going to just give myself like a little picture of where the card is going to go, like where I want that to be. And then I'm going to glue on the outside of that, which is fine because you're never going to see that. All right. I'm going to try to get that lined up there. Okay. I'm going to do a similar thing here. I'm going to do that. That seems to be the best method so far. But like I said, this is one of those easy ones where you can do all kinds of different corners with it. So pick your best method that you use and make it your own. All right, let's see. Getting that in there right? Yep, here we go. And for these ones that I'm just gluing down here, I'm not going to trim them like I will up here. I just need to make sure that they get into the right place. Okay, and then I should have one more here somewhere. I had one. They keep going all over the place. All right, last one is going to tuck that right there. So, all right. All right. So again, like you're going to do what feels right to you on this because you just don't know. What I like doesn't mean everybody else is going to like the same thing. Okay. And the reason that we do this is so that then all these other cards that you have, which you get along with the kit, cultivate the garden, let your imagination flow, those all then slide right into this pocket right here. And they can also double as journal cards, which is one of the things I really liked about them. All right, and now I'm going to just flip this over, and I'm going to take my scissor, and I'm just going to cut off that little piece there, and that little piece there. There we go. Okay, so that's the inside assembly. And your tags go here. Oh, these are not all the right way. And of course, you don't have to use all the tags. You don't have to use all of the other things. It's just you have them as options if you want them. And I thought this would be like one of those fun things that you could give as a gift, like a card, but a little bit more robust. And then these guys go in here. Yeah. So especially for like your friends that like to read, these are a little bit more fun. All right, for this, I made this have flaps on purpose because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker because it's going to be the closure. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue down the flaps of this, and basically this just makes a double thickness of whatever it was that you were doing before. And this closure can work in a number of different ways. And so I'm going to show you my kind of first method, and then you can come up with other ones as well. So the first thing I want to do is say like where I want that to be. Okay, kind of like that there. And make sure that that's roughly, yeah, good. Good. And then the back side I'm going to glue just this edge right here, the end of it. And you want to be patient with this one just because that is going to be holding on to all of that. And then for the front side, I am going to use Velcro. I have a little piece of square Velcro. I also have round Velcro. It's a little bit more, has a little bit more depth to it. And so it kind of stands up the end of it. And so for this one, I would rather it be more flat. But I use both the round ones and the square ones. I love having the Velcro for these. And then you want to make sure it's straight. Okay. And then that opens like that. And there on the inside, you have this hiding little pocket here. And this, which you can also flip out. Okay. This has lots of opportunities for decoration, and I'll do a craft with me where I go through my own decoration process with this. But I wanted to be able to have the tutorial video here. I'm going to release this in the next day or two, and I can't wait to see how people make it their own. All right. Have a great day and happy crafting.